Morning, everyone. Dear parents, grandparents, children, teachers, and every one of the supporting staff member of our school. We're missing you, champion children, and I'm jealous of you, dad, mom, and grandparents. This whole huge piece, 204,000 square feet building empty since Friday the 13th of March. You must be saying that yes, I would like to have the children back into the school. We also want them back here. So come on, all of us, you believe in prayers, don't you? Don't believe in prayer? I'm an atheist, it's alright. But an atheist believes in himself. To believe in yourself and make a wish. You would be surprised, you would be amazed to know that the East and the West, the Western philosophy and the psychology, to the Eastern philosophy and psychology, and the based in the Vedanta, which is what? We are Vedanta with IB, International Baccalaureate. You'd be amazed to know that in Harvard School today, in Harvard, in the university, they call it Harvard School. They have a special section called Divinity School. Google it. They have online courses also for Divinity School. And you would be amazed to know the major thing that they study is Vedanta. And you and I, most of us, originated from India, we know nothing about Vedanta. Hey, dear parents, grandparents, children, that's the reason why we have so much of suffering today. How can it be? What's so great about suffering with Vedanta? I'm trying to sell you something. No. So, we're going to share lots of things for you to reflect upon. Think of it. Ask yourself, is it real? What this monkey is talking about, can it be true? Is it real? Is it? The concept what we're going to talk about. The second thing you should ask, can it be real for me? That means, can it become true for me? And the third question is, can I experience that change? And the moment you do it, you're on. And it's not complicated. It's very simple. For example, you can hear me, you can see me. Who is seeing me? Who is hearing me? Because of the digitization, then you got the YouTube and you can get the ERP message, you can see. Okay, that digitization can travel around the worldwide. People from, various places are also listening to this and you're watching your YouTube and Facebook and it's something beautiful which scientists and all have discovered. But look at it this way, every one of us think, we want what? We want happiness. Nobody wants suffering. And look at it, we got suffering. Nobody wants it. Coronavirus, COVID-19, locked us all in, suffering. You say then, why the hell does it have to come? There might be a reason. There might be a God. I'm just asking you to have a shift in the paradigm, the way we look at the world. You see me, you're hearing me. How? You see with my eyes, with my ears. I said, okay, you are seeing me with your eyes and you've gone up to sleep. What a boring guy. Happens, no? It used to happen in our school days. Vedanta classes, many people do that, okay? So what happened? Your eyes are there, ears are there. You got up to sleep, so eyes closed. Okay, but you should be able to hear me, no? But you don't. Your eyes are there open. In the classes we used to do that, and the teacher came and taught and went away. I was dreaming and thinking about something else. When the teacher goes away, I ask my friend, what was she talking about? Isn't it happened to you and me? We become absent-minded. Mind is gone off somewhere else. What is this thing called mind? We'll try and sort it out, and we'll do these as we've been doing it for some time. Do think, try and put in your little bit of time, it's going to change your life. It has changed millions of people's lives. Million, not billion, okay? There are 7.5 billion people in the world, but everybody is not. Those who have, and this is how the ancient India went shot up right on top. But subsequently what happened? The education system, with the integration of right from Alexander the Great, 326 BC, and then came, they all raided India. Did you ever think why India? Why did they come to India? And then subsequently came the Mughal Brigade, Tamerlane, Genghis Khan, Babur, Akbar, Humayun, Aurangzeb, everybody came to India. Then the Portuguese, then the Zoroastrians, the Persians, then the French, then the British. Why everybody India? And then the British, they wanted to rule us. Everybody wanted, Mughals also tried. But notice, they stayed, they ruled for a while, some of them went back, some of them continued to rule, and subsequently various things happened. You're fully aware of the history. Britishers came 16th century, along with the French, a little while before that with the Portuguese. Britishers wanted to rule India. 16th century, 1650, they made East India Company. 1833, 230 odd years, we couldn't rule India. They were robbing us. And loads of ship and camels and horses were elephant laden with gold and diamond and jewelry were taken away from India. What's the connection with that to today? There is a connection. If you happen to miss it, you can play it back again. There it is. I'm going to show you a way, and it works. What happened? Let's talk about today. We think what brings us happiness is out there. Out there. What? Money, property, job, a good company, a perfect relationship, happiness, having a kid, getting married. It's all there, out there. And the hand is always out there. Eyes are always out there. What am I trying to get at? Look at the Western philosophy. Heisenberg, Einstein, they came about with quantum theory. What is that? I'll make it very simple for you. Break down anything. Let's say this computer, or a man's body, or a girl's body. You break it down further and further. It comes to molecules, cells, and further comes to atoms, further subatomic particle, further sub-subatomic particle, and further it's called sub-subatomic particle names: meson, boson, lepton, cryon. Boson was named after Dr. Jagadish Chandra Bose. He discovered the particle. And after that what? These particles are there. After that, particles are so tiny that you need a powerful microscope to see it. Can't see it with the naked eye. Notice coronavirus, you can't see it with the naked eye. You're creating havoc, no? Same way. Hey, parents, same way. Children, same way. The way coronavirus, you can't even see it. The things you can create today, which you may not be able to see, but it will work. It just came to me. What happens after the finest particle? Let creep cry and goes on, goes on. And many of you are scientists out there, are champion parents, so knowledgeable, you. And our children. After that comes information and energy. So energy, laws of thermodynamics, cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. Energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. But it can shift from one thing to another. Heat can become light, light can become heat. Hot bulb, if you touch it, it will be hot. And what? So that's energy. Can be converted one to the other. And the secret is here. And the next is information. This is Western theory. Hey, Singer Einstein, right? Quantum theory. Study, children, come on, find it out. You'll believe this more and it will become real for you. We love to go by the Western and what is this Vedanta? Because we have forgotten it. And the vehicle of the Vedanta knowledge where Sanskrit language went off 1650 onward, the Britishers introduced English as the main language, and subsequently post-independent Hindi is coming. They are all from Sanskrit language, but we've forgotten. Very few schools do include Sanskrit. We do too, but you know what? Everybody says, what's the idea of learning Sanskrit? How are they going to help me in my corporate sector or business world or the future being an aerospace? So the importance of that needs to come in to do what? Something will happen with that knowledge of the Vedanta. Being aware. So you are seeing me, you can hear me because of something else. Supposing I told you you're deep sleep, you can't see me, you can't hear me. What if you are unconscious? You can't. And what if you were, it will never happen to you, if one person is in coma? Worse, something is still there in a coma, but something is not there when I become dead. What is that? The same thing you are using as a conscious person today called consciousness. Consciousness. But you and I are not aware of this consciousness. Vaguely aware. We take it for granted. But this consciousness is the prevailing. Let me give you a little story. Today we talked about it amongst our staff. We are having school with about 10% people, and many of you who are staying connected, you are aware of it. Your virtual classes are running every day through the remote control of the nerve center from the school, from various homes. They're doing a wonderful work, and you as parents and children are doing beautiful. Thank you very much. Our deepest of regards to you. So, there is, in India you have seen it many times. Most of you have seen it. Some for our younger crowd may not have seen. Like, when the kids come in, sometimes I used to ask them, what is this? This is milk. I said, where does it come from? You know what some of the kids used to say? Not Victoria's kids, before they joined. They say it comes from the Raji. Are you with me? Similarly, there used to be washermen. And they used to take their clothes, they will collect it from various homes, and then they will take it to Dhobi Ghat. Today, in most of the Air Force, Army and the Navy units, military units, police units, so those who have big campus, in India, National Defense Academy in Pune has got it. It's called Dhobi Ghat. There they got beautiful cemented platform. But earlier days, what used to happen, they would put the load into a donkey and go down to a river or a big lake, and they'll wash and they will come back. So let me introduce two characters here in a story form for us to understand what am I talking about. It may take a little time today, but it is nice. You can listen to it in parts or at home, depending on how interesting or how boring it is, and your other chores that you have to do. So, the first is the dhobi, element dhobi. Dhobi used to take the cloth and wash, and he had a very good stone, he had to beat it, they used to do that. Many of you have seen it. It used to be there in Jamna River in Delhi, by the way they used to take it. I've seen it many times. These days we don't, we've got laundry and things like that, and dry cleaning and stuff. But it's a nice lesson Vedanta talks about. This guy used to beat his cloth there on the stone, and he used to like that stone very much. Simple stone, but somehow he used to like it very much. So he used to carry it with him every day back. He had a donkey, he used to put it. And one day one of his friends said, "Why do you carry it?" He said, "I don't know, I like it very much." He said, "What is so special?" The friend looked at it and he said, "Hey, why don't you check it with one of your friends? I also think it is nice." So the dhobi took the stone and took to his vegetable guy, who used to buy vegetables from, and he said, "Listen, on his way back home from the river, I like this stone. What do you think about this stone?" The friend looked at the stone and he said, "It's very nice. I also like it. Okay, I'll give you 10 kgs of potato for this. You give it to me." You take another stone. Tempting offer for a dhobi, 10 kgs of potato. He said, "Wow." Something happened. He said, No, I don't want." He said, "Come on, I'll make it 20 kg. He said, "Oh." Then he went to his clothes shop where he buys clothes from. Good friend. Clothes shop looked at it and said, "I really like it. Listen, I'll give you 1,000 rupees. Those days, 1,000 rupees was a lot of money. He said, "Really? 1,000 rupees?" He said, "Let me think about it." And he thought and thought. Something happened to him. He didn't. And then he went to once in a 10 years or 2 years, they would buy gold, no? All Indians love to buy gold, don't you? He went to his gold shop guy. He looked at it and he called his workman who used to work with diamonds, gold shop, diamond jewelry. Diamond guy came and he said, "Sir," he whispered to this gold shop owner. He said, "Really?" He said, "Listen, I'll give you 1 lakh rupees for this." He said, "What?" "I don't want to sell it." 1 lakh rupees, and they found it was a big diamond. This guy was always holding it with him. He had it, he was using it for what? Washing clothes. You and I have something like that diamond with us. We don't know about it. And that is what I intend to bring about today to you. It's called consciousness. Chit in Sanskrit, Chetana. And the entire Vedanta is talking about only one thing. Discover who you are. Vivekananda, when 1893, 11 September, went up to the United States, gave a talk to the World Conference, and he said, "Discover who you are. If only know who you are." And we are not our name, not our body, not our form, not a man, not a woman. If I ask you, are you aware that you're a father? You say, "Of course." Are you aware that you're a boy? Yes, of course. Do you know you're a girl? Of course. Do you know, let's say my name is Robbin Ghosh. Somebody said, "Where is Robbin Ghosh?" I will say, that means what? We are a name and a form. And we label ourselves by the work that we do. Name, form and usage. Vyavahara, Sanskrit, action. It's the action that we do. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm an artist. I'm a teacher. I'm the president of the country. I'm the prime minister. I'm a politician. I'm a neighbor. I am very good with repairing lights. Action. This is how we label ourselves, but that's not who we are. So my intention to this is to bring it to you another character with the dhobi guy. Who was that? Donkey. Now this donkey, he used to put the thing and take it to the river. One day, after going there, he suddenly realized, I've forgotten to bring the rope with which I have to tie the donkey. Now what do? If I don't tie it, the donkey is going to wander off. How will he go back? It will be difficult to catch him. So he is in trouble. He suddenly found one guy from the village. He was walking around. He said, Sir, can you give me some idea? Can you give me some rope? He said, why? He said, I want to tie this donkey. I'm going to go and start washing. He will wander off while eating somewhere else and I'll be having a lot of trouble later on in the evening. He said, that's all. Very simple. Show it to the donkey. Make sure in front of his eyes you're tying him with your hand, without the rope. Just tie him onto the thing and put it on his head and tie it up. He said, that's all. But donkey, won't he realize? He said, try it. So, realization comes from where? Consciousness. Does the donkey have it? Yes, they have it. But very minute consciousness. That's why human intelligence, yours and mine, intelligence from the mind, not from the consciousness. That we'll talk further on, further sessions. There is a difference. Consciousness is totally different. I'll touch upon it just to give you an example. This is the book. You can see the book. This is Al Vivekananda's book on education. You can see the book. This is a book. This is a pen. And this is my hand. So what am I showing you? A book, a pen, and my hand. 3 different objects. How are you seeing them? You say, I see them with my eyes. Okay, but think, if there was no light over here, would you have seen them? Supposing it was darkness, total dark. No, so you need the light. And now, understand 2 things. This light is ever prevailing, reflecting on what? Objects. The book object, the pen object, the hand object. What is an object? Definition as per Vedanta of an object is anything which you can call this. Anything. Anything. As per Western science, matter, which is thing, it goes by anything that occupies space. Check it out. Matter as per Western science is anything that occupies space. So these are all occupy space, you and I occupy space. But hey, as per Vedanta, there are other things. What about your feeling? What about your thoughts? What about your anger, jealousy, greed, smallness, doubt, fear, coronavirus? Hey, they also occupy space. Have you realized your fear for coronavirus is not there maybe with your wife or with your husband or with your parent? And if they also have it, there are people who don't have it. I don't have fear. I take care. I want you to take all the 100% care and the precaution, but do not be afraid. Take care. Take action. Certainly. So, understand, those things are also called object. Mind is also object. How? Because you experience it, isn't it? Anything that you can experience. I experience this pen. So the pen is an object. Western science is anything that occupies space. What about mind? Hey, doesn't your mind occupy your whatever that is? Western science can't explain that again. How are you seeing these things? The pen is not entering your eye or the book. A light reflects from it, goes into your cornea, creates an image, goes through the electrical circuitry and goes to the brain, and something happens that Western science as yet has not managed to explain. Creates an image. How does it do it? Nobody knows. As yet. And when you ask the philosophers and the specialists, they say, we don't know as yet. We didn't know what was life in the beginning. Now we know what is life. Just like that, we will explain this also. Give us 30, 40 years. Take time. Vedanta has explained it very, very beautifully. Thousands of years ago. Close to 6,000 years plus. That's known today. Now that it goes to the mind, and the mind through the intellect. Mind has got intellect, buddhi, has got memory, has got ego, and got from the memory, remembers that called a pen and says, this is a pen, name so and so. When you are dealing with the small children and you are talking, let's say 4 or 5-year-old boy, you're about to get him to start your work from the home office. He looks out of the window and says, Mama, hey Kai, ye kya hai? What is this? He sees the dog. Now you could answer as a parent many ways. One, champion beta, I'm running for the office, I'm going to get late, I will tell you later. Dog is not going to wait for you. He says, Mama, I won't. Now you need 30 seconds to explain to him. You could say, no, not now, and you just run off. And he will start crying. You can do another thing. Oh, you look at it, oh, that's a dog. Smaller children, he will say, Bobo, I hate. Bobo. You could also say, that's a dog. A street dog. You could also say, it is from a canine family called dog, from golden retriever breed. You're given the exact data. You'll be amazed what it's going to do to your child if you spend that 30 seconds. I have sent you certain documents. You will be also getting it a little bit more right now for the children. How can you create millions of information data for the child just in 30 seconds time? We don't know all this. So many of us are saying, my child is only 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old. Let me give 1 year break. 1 year break. No, you're making a big mistake, sir. Ma'am, why? Read those little bit of ideas. We'll be sending it to you. I've sent it to you. Some of you are interested. Those of you really interested to know and you haven't found it, do send us a little call or something. I'll explain. Otherwise, we'll get off the topic now. 36 lakhs, 28,800 bits of data. You can give it to your child with love in 30-second time. All you need to spend just 10-15 minutes a day, maybe twice a day or 3 times a day. Not more than 45 minutes a day, more than enough. And that's what we do. And that is how Victoria's kids are so different. So now, let's get back to the donkey. What happened to the donkey? So this man did that tying up session. Donkey was looking. And the guy said, you can go and wash. He said, that's all? He said, go and wash. He started washing and he would keep on looking back at the donkey. He thought donkey was standing and cutting, eating grass or whatever it was. He finished the whole day, he dried his clothes, donkey was standing still. And now he finished, he packed up the cloth and came and put it on top of the donkey. After doing that, he now wanted to get back home. So he said, Chal, hut. You know, in Hindi you say that, no? In English, come on, let's go. Donkey wouldn't move. He started hitting, come on, move. Not moving. He said, now what do I do? He just happened to, he knew that guy is in that hut. He goes down there, he said, "Sir, you gave me that trick, you gave me a magic. Thank you so much, but donkey's not moving now. What do I do?" He said, "Yeah, just you forgot to untie him." He said, "Untie him? I'm not tied him." He said, "You did. You showed it to donkey, no? Go and show him you're untying him." So he goes and he does untying action. And as he said, "Chal, hut," donkey started moving. You and I, dear mothers, father, grandparents, children, have tied ourselves up. We've lost the sense of the diamond that we have is the power of the consciousness which is within you and me. So what is happening during the day? How do we utilize it? We have, as per Vedanta, 4, out of which 3 are very prominent. First is the waking self. Waking self. Myself. Waking state. In the waking, you saw the book, you saw the pen, you saw my hand. It is the light reflecting through it. Light is the consciousness, which, not in this case, this is just the light, but it's the consciousness which gave to that mind when it came. How did the mind know about it? It recollected from the memory. But the mind, how does it function? This is Vedanta's telling. It cannot function unless you're conscious. Dead people, no mind. Coma, very little, almost nothing. Unconscious, when you wake up, you become better. Dreaming state during the daytime, you are losing your consciousness. Focus, concentration. Children, you and I, when we study, we focus attention, no? So notice, if you love something doing, like playing cricket, or cooking something very special, or making something artistic, you are focused totally. And this is why at Victoria's we tell you, learning to love to learn. When you love to play cricket, have you noticed you don't like to watch TV? So parents, I'm sharing some of our secrets. Make them want to learn. Make them love to learn. And by doing certain things, we'll continue to share them. That consciousness, you need to utilize it. So the waking moment, you're having thousands and millions of experiences in a day. Even if you're locked in. Forget the television experience or the mobile experience. Otherwise also, and with them digitally much more. Data, information, experience. What is an experience? Vedanta explains it beautifully. How did you perceive the book, the pen and the hand? By the light. Do you experience an object with the consciousness? Consciousness for the book. Consciousness for the book is one. Consciousness for the pen is one and not another one. Consciousness for the hand is same. Consciousness remains one. Things keep changing. Some other time I will explain to you this little more detail. It has taken thousands of years, and I would say we are blessed to know a little bit about it. And we are continuously discovering. Our intention is to share so that we can get benefit from it. So the consciousness experience is an object with a consciousness. Objects keep changing. Consciousness remains constant. Tremendous power. Can do anything. So notice the objects for which we are running outwards is diminishing. It is vanishing. What do I mean by that? Aren't they? The girl's body, the man's body, the diamond, the money in the bank, aren't they coming down to particles and then information and energy? What happened to the object? What happened to the shape of sky? It came down to information and energy. The object has vanished, the matter has vanished more or less. Without the waves, it has not, because information occupies space. Not only in the computer or your mobile, also in your mind and brain. as per Vedanta. So, what do we do this? How do we utilize it? Let's go to the waking state to dream state. Now you're going up to sleep. End of the day, gone up to sleep. You started dreaming. Notice your senses are not there with you anymore. During the waking time, sense and the mind. I saw it, mind perceived it. Consciousness through the light of the mind, you perceived it and made something, and as per Vedanta called vritti, an impression. Now, in a dream state, senses are gone. You're dreaming, people may come and stand there. You don't know somebody is standing and looking at you. Somebody may be playing something softly, not to disturb you. You don't know. You may have, while watching TV, gone up to sleep. TV is playing. You don't know. You wake up sometime and, oh, I forgot to switch it off. No? Reflect upon all this. So, only mind is there. Whose mind? Your mind. Can you stop a dream, wake up? Let's say you were eating a wonderful pizza from Pizza Hut. You ate a couple of bites and you woke up. Can you get back to your dream again and eat that rest of the pizza? No. Lion was chasing you. Dinosaur, Jurassic Park. You're dreaming. Or a saint, or Allah, or Christ has come into your dream. Can you wake up and go back and again see? No. That is called imagination. Another very interesting topic of ours, we will talk about it. I'll talk with mine. I'll share with you. These are called experience and imagination and visualization. There are three different things. Now, you got up to dream. Who's dreaming? Your mind. Can your dream be with anybody else? No. Most people in the Western world, they will say, let me explain your dream. Vedanta says, we are not interested in your dream. We are interested in you. Who's experiencing dream? Somebody. Somebody in me experienced the pen through the mind. Something through the light. Something experienced the dream. And then you go to deep sleep. In the deep sleep, senses are not there. Mind is not there. Only something is there. And that is what makes you, when you wake up and you say, I had a wonderful sleep. Don't remember anything. Slept like a log. You hear those statements, no? In every language, the deep sleep is gone. In Bengali, they say, Ghumiye kada hoye giyechhilam. Meaning, I became like mud, lifeless. Every language, you got some to state that state. Deep sleep state. There neither mind nor senses. Only something is there. And you know what is that something? It's what we're talking about today. Consciousness. And then I told you there are four states. Waking state, sleep, dream state, deep sleep state. And this is called Turiya state. As per Vedanta, is the fourth. Turiya means fourth. Fourth state. And this fourth state is silence. And that's why, dear parents, children, today you hear this meditation. What is doing in the meditation? Suddenly from going outwards, you're going inwards. That's why in the Harvard school, in the divinity school, they're teaching Vedanta and Vedantic meditation. Interested? We'll share with you. So how do you do it now? What do you do? One little story and we should finish. It's almost about 45 odd minutes. 10 guys were crossing the river. They went to go and visit a mosque or a temple or a church on the other side. They crossed the river, and after the crossing, they dried themselves up. There were no boats and all that, and the river didn't have much of water, so they walked across and they were dried up until just about to stop. One of the friends said, "Hey, wait, we crossed the river. I hope everybody there. Let's count." So they counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I said, 9? We were 10 when we started. Other guy said, "You're a monkey, you don't know how to count. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, I will count. 4, 5. He counted 9. He said, "Yeah, you're right." Third guy said, No, you two are fools. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. And they started crying. They crying why? Our 10th guy is drowned and is dead. Howling, missing the 10th guy. This is in Vedanta called the story of the 10th guy. A wise man was passing by, like you. As he was passing by, he looked at these people and he said, "Hey, why are you guys crying?" He said, "We came 10 people and one guy is drowned and he is not to be found." The wise guy, he looked at it, he immediately got the scene. He said, No. Don't worry, the 10th guy is not dead, he's dead. He said, "Where is he dead?" He said, "Count." The wise guy asked one of them to count. He counted 1, 2, wise guy was holding his hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See? He's telling the wise guy, "I told you there are only 9. He caught hold of his hand and turned it around and said, 10. You forgot to count your own self." What happened to him? He said, "Oh, what? I forgot my own self." And this is, man, children, we are doing it. We forget the power of that consciousness within me. So what happened? Ignorance came to 10 guys missing, vikshepa, sorrow, and then came the aparuksha knowledge. Somebody else came and said, no, they're not missing. And then, actually I got the knowledge by finding it myself. I'm the 10th. And then, Ananda Prapti. The moment you find your 10th, you will find your suffering, your sorrow will go away. This 10th, the consciousness within ourselves, is the Vedanta is always talking about Prajnana Brahman. This is from Rig Veda, Aitareya Upanishad. There are 4 Vedas I talked about you earlier. Go back to our talks earlier. So, Rig Veda, the oldest Veda, Prajnana Brahman, meaning what? Consciousness is that. What is that? I am that. This is a book on Educares Goswami from Mumbai, the great enlightened master, that. Then, it goes on to Yajur Veda, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. What does it say? Aham Brahmasmi. Many of you have heard this. And then it goes on to Chandogya Upanishad, Samaveda, talks about Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. You are that. Notice everybody is saying you inside. And the 4th is Atharva Veda, Mandakya Upanishad. He's talking about I am Atman Brahman. I am the Brahman. And this Brahman, this consciousness is Brahman. We'll talk a little bit about all this later. Don't believe in God, it's okay. You believe in God, good. In any religion. Jal, Pani, Tanni, water, you in French, all are water. Call it by any name, any practice. Islam religion, Christianity religion, Buddhist religion, Sikhism, Guru Granth, Jain, any religion or Hinduism. There's only one. And that's what we at Victorious is sharing with everybody. The awareness, but that you are constant everywhere. Tap into this. What is the simple principle? Meditate, sit still, breathe in, be conscious of your breath. I'll talk about meditation in the next session. And then, be aware of your breath. Just be aware. Watch your breath. The word is watch your breath. Then be still and bring in that thought. What? My consciousness. And plan, you will find within 2-3 minutes, if you're doing the breathing, holding, breathing out. Many of you do these advanced practices. I don't want you to go into advanced unless you're on an advanced yogi. Simple. 6 count breathing. Hold for 6 count. 1, 2, 3, like that. And breathing out 6 count. Just watch your breath. While you're holding, bring in that consciousness. And you will find within 2 to 3 minutes you feel quite calm. Plant that seed. What? I don't know how. There's coronavirus, there's suffering, there's misery, there's lack of money, sickness, the body, the cough and cold or something or whatever is the suffering. It's going away. I don't know how. You can say that. I don't know how. It's going away. And just watch. It will vanish. We are all very special. Just say, I'm not anybody great. I'm as simple as all of them. I'm equally. I call myself a monkey, don't know anything. We have to learn so much. But notice, with 51 years plus, I haven't fallen sick one day. Many of you know me for many years. I don't fall sick. I'm 77 plus. I don't have any eye problem, ear problem. How? Use that consciousness. I wish you peace and happiness and joy in your travel. Should you have any questions or doubts, send a message. Put in that yellow chip in the Dropbox through an SMS or WhatsApp, send it to us. We'll be delighted to answer it.